Thank you very much, John. I know John by way of the Silmar Microcomputer Workshop. We've got a few folks here who've attended that over the years. Way in the back, thank you. And I also had the pleasure of taking an operating systems class from Vint back in 1976. And I think that is possibly the same class that Yogan Dalal was referencing with regard to systems programming. First time I'd known anything about networking was in that class. And then a few years later, I started hearing Vint's name around and realized, my gosh, I learned networking from Vint Cerf. So I thought that was kind of cool. So anyway, I'm here to represent the IEEE. I'm the past chair of the local IEEE Santa Clara Valley section, and also very involved with the local consultants network, and also the IEEE milestone coordinator for Region 6, which is the 10 Western United States. And there's been a number of milestones that have been dedicated here in the area. One of them that's certainly significant today is for the inception of the ARPANET. Back in 1969, which was dedicated in 2009 at the Computer History Museum. And Vint was at that event, and that was also the 125th anniversary of IEEE, also being celebrated at that same event. So that was the first ARPANET transmission from UCLA to SRI. So there's IEEE milestone plaques at both SRI and UCLA. And we've been looking at plaques, like that plaque that was is going to be installed at the Cabana Hyatt soon. I hope to also be part of a dedication of another plaque that is just officially being kicked off today. It'll look something like this. This is actually a plaque that was dedicated 2 weeks ago down at Pacific Grove for CPM, Gary Kildall's invention, 40th anniversary of the first microprocessor operating system. Very happy to be part of that event, and I've got an official okay from Vint that yes, he'll be part of a TCP/IP milestone. So there'll be yet a third plaque at that hotel. So that'll be a great thing. Thank you. Just for background, other important milestones that have been dedicated here in the Santa Clara Valley area are the RAMAC, the original IBM disk drive in 1956 in downtown San Jose, the semiconductor planar process and integrated circuit. That plaque is about a mile from here at Fairchild's facility on 844 East Charleston, right near San Antonio Road and 101. There's also SLAC just up the road. There's a milestone plaque there. Also for SPICE, the circuit simulation software, that's over in Corey Hall at UC Berkeley. The HP35 up at HP building 3U on Page Mill Road, there's a plaque for that. Of course, Steve Wozniak was part of that, and of course, he's the guy who's responsible for the reverse Polish notation that's part of your HP calculators. A lot of people don't realize that. And then also the EEPROM and data storage and flash memory. That's a milestone that was dedicated 2 years ago at the Computer History Museum that I was a champion for, and I got to work with Eli Harari on that project. So these are some really key things, but you can also think of a lot of other key things that have not yet been honored. But there's a number that are in the queue, including the Apple I, Apple II, and Macintosh. We've gotten okay from Apple for the dedication of those. So sometime in the next year or so, at One Infinite Loop, there will be a first-time triple milestone dedication. So there's never even been 2 at one time, but this will be 3 at one time. So that'll be a pretty cool event. Very much looking forward to that. Also, the Ampex videotape recorder. There's one in the queue for that. That'll be probably on the Stanford campus because, as you know, the Ampex facility doesn't exist anymore. There is a big sign by 101, but I don't think people want to go to this sign to look at a plaque. So it'll probably be on the Stanford campus. And also, we were mentioning Doug Engelbart, the Mother of all demos. There's going to be a milestone plaque for that as well. Also, the birthplace of Silicon Valley at the corner of California and San Antonio Road in Mountain View, which is where Shockley Labs was. And Pacific Stereo was. I bought a bunch of stereo gear back there in the 70s. Didn't realize I was actually buying it at Shockley Labs facility, effectively. But there's a big redo that's going on at that shopping center there, and eventually there's going to be quite a big piece of art there, and there'll be even a little pathway through history that'll be right there at the corner. Included in that will be an IEEE milestone plaque for the birthplace of Silicon Valley. So just a little bit of background. I was talking also with Peter Neumann. During like 3 or 4 minute conversation, he came up with about 3 milestones that are worth honoring. So I bet some of you out there also can think of some things that would be worth honoring. If you're interested in doing that, you can catch me after I speak or send an email to me. My name is Brian Berg, B-E-R-G, B-R-I-A-N, first name. So brianberg@gmail.com works for me, and I can help you with that process. And thanks very much, and it's a pleasure to be here.